Hello, this is Elijah Ignatieff of the School of Conscious Communication, and I'm with Guliz Unlu, who has a very specific specialty regarding consciousness, wisdom, and the way of animals. And so I would like to introduce you to her and let her introduce what she does to you.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks, Elijah. So here I go, right? Okay. My medium I work with is called Body Talk. And what Body Talk is a consciousness-based medicine. And what I do is I observe the links in body where communication has broken down, whether it's communication between the liver and the heart, or the pineal and the adrenals. I cover basically all systems of the body: circulation, muscular, everything about the body. So that's the physical, tangible part. And what happens with mainly our own animals, because that's my special place, is I work with mainly horses and dogs. Our animals are such a huge reflection of us, and they hold a lot of our own stuff. I mean, how many people you see down the street and you're like, hey, that guy actually looks like his dog? Or in the horse world, horses will actually mimic or have a part of their guardian's essence. You can just tell. And having said that, it's also really interesting because I was a equine massage therapist for a while. I was doing some Bowen therapy, and I could tell when I was working with a man's horse or a female's horse, just because of the amount of emotion that women feel and project onto their horse, whereas males don't seem to have the same type of, I'll say the masculine, I don't want to say man, woman, but the masculine seems to have a different type of projection. So that's really fascinating to me. And how this all ties together is, as a Body Talk practitioner, I can go in through using kinesiology, muscle testing, figure out where those links need to be reconnected to release tension, reestablish communication. So let's talk about the emotions of yourself. Say you're really, really, really sad, and you go home and suddenly you're projecting, your animal is sensing your sadness. So suddenly they become either like a sponge, or they will start manifesting other illnesses that actually have to do with yourself, the environment, what's going on personally. So through Body Talk, I can go into those links and connections and help clear whatever it is that is out of balance within yourself, that will be able to help your environment with your animals become a more peaceful, balanced place to be.
So do you go visit people at their homes?
I go to homes. I'm working on having my dream is to have my own clinic with my own animals, where people can actually come to me if they don't have animals. And we can do Body Talk sessions with the animal. For example, a horse. Let's say you maybe have always wanted to be around horses, and I could invite you over, and me and the horse would actually work on you together.
Wow.
I'd put you on a massage bed, and horses in particular have really amazing senses and where there's energy blocks. So us together, we can help release those blocks through observation. It's quantum physics. I don't get it, but it's quantum physics, and I've seen it work, and it's fascinating.
Can you tell me a story or two of successes you've had that have...
Oh my goodness, there's so many. In the past, what seems to come to me is a lot of animals in transition. I was in Indonesia last year, and we went to a zoo. This is the first one that comes to mind because it was so profound for me. it was my first real experience of having the most clear voice of an animal speaking to me. I do a little bit of, it's not animal communication. All the work I do is intuitive and understanding, like we were talking about earlier, which questions to ask. And once you get into the zone, we work in the zone, and probably a lot of other body workers out there will understand, as well as athletes. When you're in the zone, you're so present, and that's where the miracles kind of, it's a space of miracles. And his clarity, he was behind the cage, he was suffering, he was in terrible, terrible, terrible conditions. But the clarity that I got from him about his purpose, that he wasn't here for long, a full-on communication. I say this story, I think, because Body Talk is just a tool. Like anybody, we're all very intuitive. We just have to tap into it, right? But what do we do with that knowledge? So, bless you.
Excuse me.
So we've done a Body Talk session with this one tiger. It was me and a friend of mine who I was traveling with. It was a class. We were all traveling together with my teacher mentor, Lucia Jacob. And we were doing a session, and I was the surrogate. And what happens is, because we're not to touch the animals, I surrogate. So my friend was actually I was pretending to be the tiger, and she was doing a session on me through me and the tiger. And the sensations and the feelings I got as she was working with me, I was getting the animal's memories, I was getting his feelings, I was getting his purpose, I was getting everything through me, but it's not even words that were coming through, it was just a feeling. And like we were talking about earlier, how important it is to be able to communicate these new feelings that we're getting as we evolve. These are feelings that maybe we've had eons ago, but we're redefining ourselves now. And I feel that through learning their language and through Body Talk, because it's already a put together language for us, we can delve deeper into communication. So anyways, that tiger, I saw him, a butterfly flew into his cage, and I remember him telling me that that's what he's going to be next. He's going to turn into a butterfly. And I got a message from my veterinarian friend. She's a wildlife vet in Indonesia, saying that he had just passed away like 2 days after that had happened. So I've got tons of horse stories. I've got tons of dog stories. It's fascinating, but it's experiential. So I can tell stories until we turn blue, but if we have to experience it together.
So do you work specifically on animals? Do you work specifically on people with animals, or both, or doesn't matter? It
doesn't matter. Any sentient being. And trusting that it's a really good question, because we're so used to like, okay, I'm going to bring my dog to you. You got to fix him. Or I'm coming to you, you got to fix me. But what we don't understand, or where we're just starting to understand, is our interconnectedness with nature itself. So you don't have to have an animal to come have a horse session with me, but you could also bring your dog to me and have a horse session, an assisted equine therapy session for you and your dog.
Now, do you find that one session will do it? Because a lot of healing modalities, it takes many sessions. It takes layers. What do you suggest for people is the best?
Depends on the person. For example, what really got me into this work was my now teacher worked on my back. It wasn't even my back I was asking for her to work on. It was something emotional. I can't even remember. It's years ago. She spent an hour with me, and I walked away with no back pain. I've had chronic back pain for most of my life. So for 4 days, I had no back pain. But it came back why? Because our environment doesn't support that shift. So that's, again, a really good question. So what I'm trying to experiment with is, how long do I need to be there for people to support them? right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now I've got a 6-week program that people can stick with me for 6 weeks. But I think for some people it's too long, and some people need longer, you know?
Now, is this something which you have to be in the proximity of, or can you do it at a distance?
Can do it distant. Most of my clients right now are distant.
Okay, so you're zooming over the quantum field and
Yeah.
making contact from wherever you are.
Yeah.
So this is pretty profound. This is pretty, it seems like a jump in human consciousness, or our ability to communicate with animals seems to be a lost skill, perhaps, that I think a lot of people would love to learn how to do. Do you teach people how to do what you're doing?
I share experiences with them. It's something you can't teach. It's something that I can share an experience with and remind your body that it can actually, it knows how to do this. And I think the main thing is just like anything, it's a muscle that you need to just keep practicing with.
You said you have something coming up in April at Banyan Books?
I got a Banyan Books, a presentation. I think it's from 11 to 1. It's on my Facebook page. Aquarius. I can't remember the actual page name right now, but you can find me on Guliz on my name, Unlu.
Okay. We can put a link below.
Yeah.
And what kind of clients are you looking for right now? Like, who do you feel you have the most service to give to?
People who are just curious about the next place that they can go. People whose animals have been trying to tell them something, but they can't figure it out. People who want to experience something completely different. You don't even need to have a problem. You don't need to. This stuff works with issues. It works with physical problems. It works with emotional problems. It works with all kinds of stuff. But I think my main passion right now is reminding people that we can all do this. We can all learn from the animals how to reignite our own intuition and to respect our nature. You know what I mean?
It's so important these days for that.
Yeah.
But I think we're coming to the end of our little chat. And is there a contact information which people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can contact me at aquarius.com. EQUUARIUS.com.
Okay, and is there an email or phone number?
Aquarius@gmail.com. And a phone number, 604-657-0293.
Okay, so
this is my first interview in a really long time since I've been doing this stuff, so thank you.
Okay, well, I know you've been doing magical work, and we're very excited to have you at the School of Conscious Communication in any way, and we're just very excited about what you have to offer, and you're a genius.
Thank you. I can't wait to see other people's too. Thanks, Elijah.